All right, matey, we're going to go to the seas. I'm Mr. Crab. Arr. What, respond. Did you watch SpongeBob?
Yes, of course.
Was he your favorite, Mr. Crab?
No.
Okay. Well, life, according to The Atlantic, life for the 19th century sailor was hard. Months at sea were accompanied by constant danger and deprivation. To make matters worse, mariners saw the same few people all day, every day, in a radically confined space where they were expected to get along and look after one another. Can you imagine? On a long voyage, one obnoxious person could make life utterly miserable for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine being stuck on a ship with that guy, whoever that guy is? You're thinking, Ryan, you thought it. I caught you.
I'm stuck in this ship that looks like a ship, feels like a ship for 3 hours every day.
So you can empathize well with the sailors? Yeah. So sailors used a tried and true technique to deal with an offender. The silent treatment. That's where it came from.
I have a hard time believing they invented it. I mean, marriages have been around since literally the dawn of creation. They did not invent this.
I am sure Eve gave Adam the silent treatment.
Oh, yeah, once or twice.
I'm sure.
They lived like 900 years. There was a little bit of silent treatment
One
in
of
there.
their children killed the other. You think they're not going to be silent? Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
He probably did that to her when she was eating all the fruit and not supposed to.
No, actually, he didn't. We have that recorded. So.
We don't know what happened directly after, though.
Wow. I feel like giving them the silent treatment. So, so what they would do is they would ignore him completely for weeks on end.
Oh, wow.
That might sound like an innocuous action, but in truth, it was far from it. The silent treatment was, according to one particular writer in 1944, a process so effective in the monotony of a ship's life as to make strong men weep.
Oh.
It would totally break the annoying guy.
Sad.
It's sad?
Yeah, to make him cry because you haven't talked to him for weeks and he has no one else to talk to.
Well, look at you sitting in the hot seat.
I don't do it for weeks.
You've said before, but you change it because silent treatment sounds so mean. You ice him out? Is that what you say?
Yes, that's
To Eddie?
not what I say. That's what I said the one time in the story I told you.
You need
No.
to stop telling Brian things.
I know he acts like I do it every single day.
Well, now let me just throw
I
this out
told
there.
you one story.
So it's an equal playing field, okay? I have the opposite problem. You might be like, there's an opposite problem. Yeah, it's like sometimes when you're arguing, you need a minute.
Yes.
You don't want your spouse to like get in your face and be like, let's solve this now. Right now. Right now. That's my problem. I'm working on it. Okay.
What do you you like follow her around?
Yeah, I'm like, no, let's resolve
From
this.
room
And
to
she's
room?
like, she's like, I'm a verbal processor. She's an internal processor. And
Yeah.
she needs a minute to think. And I had years where I just couldn't understand that. And so it was annoying. And it was the opposite of the silent treatment. But you're saying once you've iced Eddie out?
No, I'm just saying you're acting like this is an ongoing problem that I do every day.
It's your tendency.
No,
You've done it.
I have done it.
Okay, why do you do it?
Because it makes me feel better.
Yeah, well, okay, so it goes on here to say long married couples will go for days without speaking. A person will give their oldest friend the cold shoulder. I knew a father who refused to speak with his daughter for 30 years, writes Albert Brooks. He's a famous writer. Silent treatment inflictors do it because, as the sailors discovered, it was devastatingly effective in imposing pain on the recipient. So much pain, in fact, that it can leave a person scarred and a relationship in ruins. You do not do this.
No, I barely can last like a couple hours.
Now, he says that there's two main reasons people ice people out, as you would say. I like that better. Ice them out, because you texted your friends, right?
Yeah,
Because Eddie doesn't pick up on it, and that's the beauty of it.
exactly.
He's happy in the silence.
Probably.
He's like, huh, sure is nice here today.
After
Let's-
she finally stopped talking to me.
Peaceful.
It's just so cute. I love it. But the two main reasons are, the first one is to punish someone for perceived misbehavior. And then the other one is conflict avoidance. You go silent to avoid a major blow up. Because some people just don't handle conflict well.
Yeah. And it's like, well, I'd rather do this than yell and scream at them or something.
Which one's your main reason that you do it? Thanks for letting me do this.
Sure.
'Cause
I
you're such
told,
a nice
for
person.
everyone listening, I did talk to Eddie about this yesterday, that this was happening. So, and it's also my problem, not his.
And I brought it up.
Yes.
You knew I was going to do it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
I probably do it because I feel like I've already tried to deal with the problem. I've tried to have the conversation, and he is an internal processor and he needs time, and it's more time than I like. And so then I'm
Yeah.
like, well, fine. Then I just won't even talk. Fine. They just won't even talk about it at all because you don't want to talk about it right when I want to talk about it.
Mm.
If you are willing to share, when
Mhm.
you talked about it yesterday with Eddie, what did he say about it?
He was silent.
What?
Yeah, we were eating dinner. I was like, "Oh yeah, tomorrow we're going to talk about this, whatever." And he's like, "Didn't say anything."
Did he like? Does he recognize that you've done this to him?
Yes, I'm sure.
But he didn't have much to say about it.
No, I didn't have anything to say because I still am always the one that's going to come back and be the first to talk about it.
And I don't think he does that on purpose. He's the one that like is processing internally.
Yes.
I've seen this with Sarah. Like I have
Yeah,
to.
he needs time to think through what's happening, think through what I said, what I did, what he said, what he did, where he went wrong, where I went wrong. He just needs time.
Sarah sometimes needs time, God bless her, to realize what she did was mean
Yes.
or what she said was mean. And I have to, as much as I can recognize it right
Yeah,
away.
right away.
Right? You can relate to that.
Yes.
I've got to just walk away
Mm-hmm.
and just be dying on the inside
Yes.
for a certain period of time.
Because they'll always come back around and they'll apologize eventually. It just takes longer than I would like.
Daria, have you ever given Jimmy the silent treatment?
I don't think so. It's really hard for me to give someone the silent treatment because I know I talk for a living, but like personally, I don't talk a whole lot.
Jimmy's the talker among the two of you.
Oh, he is. Yeah. So if I gave him the silent treatment, it would just be another Tuesday. Not that we don't talk. It's just when I have something important to say, I'll seek him out. But you know, it's not always important.
Yeah, you know, you've never struck me as a person who has trouble speaking up for yourself.
Not generally.
Ron, have you? I don't think you're a silent treatment giver.
No.
Has Dana iced you out?
Yeah, she's attempted to. It hasn't made a difference to me usually. So I'll notice that, you know, we'll pass and she doesn't respond to me saying hi or something. And I'll think, oh, she's mad about something. And then I just go on about my day.
You don't press her on like, have I done something? Can we talk about this?
No.
You just know it's going to come up.
Right.
You
She'll-
wait for her timing.
Yeah, she'll let me know when she's ready.
Do you think that if you tried to push her too soon, it's like too soon and she's not ready to talk about it? And it might make her more mad?
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't want to trigger further anger. I want her to be willing and able to talk
Yeah.
and not just be angry.
Well, because see, some people give the silent treatment loudly because they want you to notice and say, is something wrong? I see you stomping.
Yes.
Have you seen that episode of Everybody Loves Raymond where Marie's giving Deborah the silent treatment?
No.
She goes in, she's like, Ray, I need my big spoon. And Deborah's right there. And she's like, here, Marie, here's the spoon. And she won't take it from her. So Ray grabs it and gives it. Oh, thank you, Raymond.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, she was trying to send a message.
Yeah.
Now, you were nodding because you want him to notice.
Yeah, I want him to know. Mhm.
So what do you do? Just for funsies here, I want to know what you do. You stomp? I would stomp.
Slam doors.
I probably don't stomp. I probably like put things away really loudly. Like if I'm doing the dishes, put them away loudly. Like
Yes.
slam the dishes into the
Yeah.
cabinets or whatever.
Maybe like sigh loudly.
Yeah, sigh. Huff and puff, sure.
And he did, Eddie, snap out of it, buddy. He's not catching on this. Or maybe he is, and he's
He
just
probably
like,
is. He just like, she'll get over it.
I'll come back when you're willing to be mature.
Exactly. That's
'Cause it's-
exactly right.
And I've done it too, but
Yeah.
it's so immature.
Oh, yeah.
how would it work out in your mind, like perfectly? If you were like, you slammed the, the plate in the cabinet,
Yeah.
he would do what?
He'd be like, are you okay? Is like something wrong? Did I do something? What are you mad about?
I'm not sure. Are you okay? Would be a good lead.
Yeah.
Better to start off with, I've done something wrong. Can you let me know what it is?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Probably.
honey, like what's wrong? What can I do?
That's exactly right.
I'll do anything you need.
Cater to my emotions.
Yeah.
How about this
Give me
one?
attention.
How about, what's your problem? You're in there slamming stuff. Would that be good?
No,
No?
no. I want him to be like, oh, she's mad. What are you upset about? Did something go wrong? I'm like, actually, yes.
Thank you for asking. It took you
Thanks.
long enough.
But now, what I can see that we're all recognizing is inherently in this, we all have a tendency to do things like this.
Yes.
Again, I think it's just as rude of me to expect my wife, before she's processed something, to talk about it with me.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to be allowed space. We're recognizing it's unhealthy. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
We're saying this.
Absolutely.
I think it's very unhealthy, although I don't know if I'm going to go as far as Albert Brooks did in here. He says that the effects of people who do it consistently for a long period of time are such that he might even label it as abusive.
Sure.
Yeah, especially in the example with the sailors where there's literally no one else to talk to. Like, that's a form of psychological torture.
So what do you think the tipping point is in a marriage relationship for the silent treatment? As immature as it is, we're saying it's wrong, and the person doing it probably knows it's wrong. At what point is it becoming abusive?
I think if that's your main form of conflict, that's the only way you're going to have, conflict with someone. You're not willing to ever talk about it. So much so that you don't talk about your problems ever, and you just do the silent treatment, and then 2 days later you're like back to whatever your normal is, and you've never worked through what the problem was. That's when it becomes, in my opinion, abusive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
have to
like
be
that.
able to talk about those things. You can't just do the silent treatment until you're not so angry anymore and then move on.
Yeah. So if that's your go-to pattern,
Yep.
you're probably being
Right.
abusive in your relationship, emotionally speaking.
Yeah.
No question, if you ice out a family member for a long period of time, you're being an abusive friend or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you all are pretty comfortable with that, generally speaking.
Mhm.
Now, again, it's not a healthy practice, but presuming that we're all going to be perfect in our relationships is silliness. Like, I still slip up and try to solve things too quickly sometimes.
Yeah.
And you still slip up when you're real mad, probably.
Yeah. Me sharing that is not me saying this is the right thing to do. It's the opposite. And if like everyone else is not able to acknowledge the things that they do in their relationships that are inappropriate or wrong or mean or sinful, then you need to do some work to see what your bad patterns are.
Yeah, and even if you're listening to this and you go, oh yeah, my husband, he's always icing me out. What a jerk. Okay. What do you do? We all have those tendencies in how we manage conflict that is unhealthy.
Mhm.
It takes a third party often to help us analyze what that is. Maybe you're being given the silent treatment because you rarely admit you did anything wrong.
Yeah.
And this person feels totally powerless because they're always to blame.
Yeah. And the reason, like you noted, I told my friends, my two best friends I was icing Eddie out, was for them to check on me in a couple hours.
To make sure you stop.
Yes. To make sure I've cooled off and we go and sort it out. And not that I'd let it continue happening. I literally said, currently icing Eddie out, check on me in a couple hours. To make sure I get over myself.
Good for you. That's great.
They're really good friends.
Yeah. We
And
all
they
need
would
those
do
kind
that,
of friends
yeah.
to hold us accountable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, remember, I think the scriptural principle in Matthew 18 is so good. If your brother sinned against you, talk to him. I think you can apply that to so many things in life and in marriage. That certainly is to be the case. Passive-aggressive behavior and all that other business, not healthy. Don't do it. Thanks for being willing to play along.
Sure.
I'm sure I'll be next, I'm sure.